I learned a valuable lesson this morning. Good morning. We got up really, really early this morning. This is going to be one of the last fields we pick. I learned a valuable lesson this morning, and that's how I'm going to start out this vlog, I guess. I did not know, okay, so we started really, really early this morning, and it was 35 degrees when I last looked, like right before sunrise. It's always colder right before sunrise. I did understand that you do have to start your tractors and your combines and let them warm up, you know, regardless if it's 35 or 60, just to get them warmed up, just like a car, just like anything, right? It's just good for them. But I did not know that hydraulics did not warm up very fast, and that hydraulic oil is really thick, and it's just logical, right? I didn't understand. We had to trek all the way over here from the house, and it takes a little while to get here, and so I just assumed that everything would be all warmed up. Well, that is not the case. So what I did, I'll kind of explain. Hold on. So I got full really fast this morning, and get here, he dumps on me that first time without even moving anywhere because he was completely full. And then that second time that he dumped, I was full. So I go to the trucks, but before that, I had to wait for the trucks a little bit. So me not knowing how the hydraulic thing works, my brain it knows how long it takes for that auger to flip up and lock into place, right? So I wasn't thinking that it might take a little bit longer. My brain was just like, okay, I hold it for this many seconds and it's popped up, right? It didn't pop into place all the way. I wish I could have showed you it while it was happening, but also I'm glad I didn't get that on film because I probably would have panicked. I stayed really, really calm, especially because it was my favorite truck driver. One of my favorites. He's like the boss, and thank God he was the first one there because I would have felt bad for anyone else who might have not been experienced in this kind of stuff. So he just calmly like walked up to the cab and opened it and was like, hey, you know, close your gate. And I was like, I am, you know, like I was pretty calm. So yeah, I guess when the hydraulics are nice and cold, everything just like moves at a really slow pace. So that little part right here, this wasn't locked in all the way, and there was a big crack open. So when I put my gate at a 6 and the corn just started flying out of there, it was spewing out of the cracks and just spilling all over the ground. So at least Zach instilled in my brain a long time ago, last year, even the year before that, when we would talk about auger issues, blah, blah, blah. He's like, the number one thing that I want you to remember is when something's going wrong, always shut your gate. Just immediately shut your gate. Anything's happening, something's messing up, shut your gate, make sure it's all off. But I also learned that you need to shut your PTO off too, because while Abe was in the cab with me telling me what's going on, the gate was shut, the corn stopped coming out. Of course, it was still cracked open. So in my head, I'm thinking logically, I need to pull that thing, I need to pull the whole auger back down like this so that I can restart, you know, just kind of redo it. But I did not shut my PTO off. So the PTO was still spinning in there, and I just barely touched that button, and I just heard some clunking, and he's like, you need to shut your PTO off. And I was like, oh, so dumb. So shut the PTO off, opened it back up, made sure everything was good, and then redid it and continued on. But oh my gosh, I learned a couple of valuable lessons there, that having your PTO on is not good. It's really embarrassing. Zach said that everyone spills corn at least once or twice a season, and I'm just like, whatever. Like, I don't know if I believe that. I'm still new, and I can't beat myself up over that.
Good afternoon. On the last circle of this group right here, you guys have seen this group of circles a lot. It's got some neat views on it. Definitely pretty crazy ground to be farmed and to run a pivot on, but man, I gotta say, this year it's more than worth it because this corn is actually doing really good through here.
we're gaining here, as you can see. I wanted to mention a little thing that I saw that we don't know the actual root of why it happened or how it happened yet. And I like to kind of throw these little tidbits in here to see if there's anybody in the comments that will guess it before I post the issue. So if you want to leave in the comments what you think it is, I always think that's really interesting and fun if people can spot it out immediately. While I was unloading earlier, corn was coming out. I'll kind of show you this and I'll kind of point it out. But it wasn't like a lot of corn coming out. It was just like a couple of little kernels popping out of this little hole. And
hold up, Jordan. I'm gonna tighten that deal up before you dump again.
Yeah, he's gonna fix it for me. That was Blake on the radio. Sorry, I got pretty far from you. I was on a mission. We got out and looked at it earlier, and Zach tried to duct tape it shut for now, but it was a hole the perfect size of a bolt. Now I'm wondering, did I pop that bolt out? Is that a common thing that occurs? Do bolts in the auger pop out of there? There's 3 other bolts holding it together, so we're not looking at it as a huge issue at the moment, but he's gonna try to tighten it for me. We're gonna see what happens. Oh my gosh, I wasn't paying attention. Look at all these stickers. I just like stepped in a sticker patch. Dang it. I hate stickers. Okay, so he tightened the 3 remaining bolts quite a bit. And we are gonna watch it and see what happens. Oh my God. I gotta do this later. We gotta get that truck out of here. Hold on. Okay, so far so good. Okay, I'm not seeing any leaks. No leaks. Okay, everything's working good. So that's good. Guys, this is a trek to get to the trucks. But look at this. I have to go all the way over there to that circle. Okay, a little example before my GoPro dies. So I just left the truck on my way back to them. And I just want to show you a little journey across here that it takes. This is probably the prettiest circle that we ended up picking all year. It's a little bit harder on the difficulty scale than all the flat ones, of course. But you know me, I had to show you the sunset. Anyway, we ended up picking into dark. We finished the circle, headed home, and this is the next morning on the last day.
Good morning, good morning. If things go well today, this should be our last day of corn harvest 2023. Cross your fingers.
I'm telling him, he always advises me not to drive behind him when there's lots of dust. He always says, because it makes more work for me. And I told him, I said, this year I'll do it myself. I might regret saying that and wanting to do that, but I want to learn too. But the reason why we're all standing here with 2 full carts, we're waiting on a truck. Oh, is that the truck?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, here. All right, like I was saying before I squirreled out as usual, I was trying to explain that we got a little bit behind that morning because while we were hauling into the feedlot, they were taking deliveries of other products, so it kind of slowed down the whole process. But once it was all ironed out, we got back going at a good speed, and honestly, that gave me a lot of time to experiment with the GoPro and climb all over the grain cart and stick the camera on everything. Being on the second to last circle was kind of a surreal moment at this point. It didn't really hit me yet that we were just about done. So let's jump on over to Zach and he can explain what the last circle is looking like.
Well, we are still picking corn. Finishing irrigated corn is a major milestone for us for harvest. And this corn, we're gonna end on a beautiful circle. Been really excited to pick this circle all year long. Just look nice and green, nice and healthy. It's not gonna do anything crazy. This is real sandy ground that doesn't really produce real high-end yields, but thankful to end on a nice, healthy, clean circle. Done.
What a relief to get corn harvest done. We made it back to the house, obviously, and decided that since we were going to be ending on Milo, Zach suggested that we should just switch everything in the combine from corn to Milo. Kind of a cool process just to see how it's done. And by properly switching it over, I mean taking out the separator grate spacers. And my job was to hold them up with this really professional, not sketchy at all, homemade jack out of a T-post that is very bent. Gotta do what you gotta do, and it worked. So we ended up getting the spacers out and then getting all the covers back on. That was my favorite part because I felt like I was putting a giant picture frame together, but that's besides the point. Zach got to tinker around. That's the bottom line, that he had fun doing it. So the rest of the day, we just got everything ready to head to the other side of the farm to pick the rest, cut the rest of the Milo. I really felt like we were fully prepared for whatever the next day brought us, but obviously we were not prepared, and here is why. Let's jump to the next morning.
We brought the combine and grain cart over to Sublette today to cut the Milo. We've only used this head one other time, and I totally forgot that we're gonna need an impact to put this tire on because we can't get this header on our trailer. I didn't bring an impact, and Blake's spraying, so we don't have any tools, so we're making do with what we have to try to get this tire on. And I don't know if we're gonna get it or not, but.
Started, obviously. Everything is going smooth so far, and I'm not gonna lie, I am totally freaked out by Milo because we are so spoiled. We have this super long auger that, you know, the spout can move and all that, and you pick your line and you're so far away from the combine itself, even farther than from what I learned with the 780s last year. So it's really freaky doing this because I have to get very, very close to the combine, and I'll show you what I mean. Or not even the combine, it's the header, and it's gonna take him a long time to fill up anyway, and these are big corners, so we don't have to dump until I already have my line picked. It's, you know, whatever, as close as it needs to be, and we're just gonna dump on that straight line every single time, and he's just kind of going around the corner like that. So is that how y'all do corners? I don't know. I've never seen this. I rode with him the other day, but it's a lot different being in the tractor and like actually riding up next to it. I'll show you. Going the right speed. Look how close that is. I can imagine the rest of Milo harvest for Kansas was about the same. I was in the grain cart for maybe a third of the time, and then 2/3 of the time I was looking for rocks or I was in the combine with him. If you grow Milo where you're from, was harvest really, really busy, or was it really relaxed like ours? We got all the corners done in a full day, and we were really grateful for what we did have, and it was really relaxing actually.
Well, we did it. Harvest 23 in the books. I'm gonna go put this last little bit on the truck, and then we're gonna get everything put in the shop for the night and figure out what to do tomorrow. Like I said, now the work begins, which isn't exciting, but it is exciting because that just means we're that much closer to winter where things are gonna chill out a little more yet. So anyway, we'll be seeing you.
There it is, my first working harvest ever in the books. We are finally done. If you haven't noticed, I condensed a ton of footage in this vlog to kind of wrap up harvest. Y'all are probably over it by now. As always, I love to get feedback and hear your opinions in the comments below. If you want to tell me I talk too much and you're done with the harvest vlogs, don't worry about it because I am too, and that's why I'm wrapping it up. Are you guys completely done with harvest for the year, or are there people still up north picking corn or beans or whatever you're picking across the world? Of course, now it's time to wash everything off and winterize it and put it up in the barn for the winter. But irrigation maintenance does not stop in Kansas, so in the next vlogs we are going to be taking apart a sprinkler, replacing a motor, and of course I'm taking you guys along with me. Thanks so much for liking, commenting, subscribing, supporting. We are at 180,000 subscribers. It's probably really lame to you, but in my camera roll I screenshot along the way how many subscribers I have over time, and on September 15th I had 44.4 thousand subscribers, and here I am. But anyway, thank you guys for making my first harvest a dream of an experience. I am in love with sharing with y'all. Hope you guys had fun coming along, and I will see you guys in the next one. Okay, love you, bye.